The coffee's hot. The light's decent. Let's chat. I was trying to come up with an opening line, and that sounded really, really bad, didn't it? Um, yeah, I just want to launch right into it. I've been using AI a lot recently. Yeah, hear me out here. Um, if you're new to the channel, um, and if you're, you know, coming back to the channel here, my name is Mike, and I've been sharing my travel stories here on the channel. It's from a project that I gave myself called 50 at 60, where I hit all 50 states in 1 year, the year that I turned 60. And with the caveat that I had to be in each state for a minimum of 36 hours. And we'll get to that in a little bit. So, anyway, I try to do something a little different here for this last video that, that I'm working on right now. And what I did was I literally handed Claude a. First of all, is everything? Just want to make sure the mic's on and everything's happening here. I tried unsuccessfully to record this yesterday about 5 different times, and I had all kind of issues. And we're here now, and I think we're off to an okay start. I hope. I wanted to do this video every Wednesday, and it's Thursday. Just a little confession there. So anyway, I took this entire. I'll show you it's a typical timeline here. What I do is I take all the clips and I throw them into Premiere, and they are put in order of capture time, basically. There's essentially 7 different sources here, from the drone to the iPhone to the Osmo Pocket, and a couple of other cameras, dash cam cameras. So I put them in there in order of capture. And then what I did on this what I did the other day, so I was like, man, I don't even know where to start today. Even though I'm on my 104th video, I didn't feel like scrubbing through all the footage. I decided to just export the entire timeline, the audio file, to Claude, or export it and then feed it into Claude. And I just asked it says, listen to this and help me come up with a story structure, and maybe pull out some of the relative points, bullet points, and help me craft a story here. And I was a little surprised, you know. Is it cheating? Is it really? You know, I've been around long enough I've lived the conversion of film camera to digital, and a lot of people thought that was cheating. And then when Photoshop came around, and everybody started using that to enhance their photos, like that they used to do in the darkroom, essentially dodging and burning. And there were many people who, you know, well, they didn't get the pitchforks out and rebel against it, but, you know, they had their opinions. And there were a lot of people that didn't accept it. I mean, still to this day, probably. I followed a guy named Trey Ratcliffe, and I started getting into HDR photography, which is taking multiple images and sandwiching them together to come up with a higher dynamic range of light in the image. And a lot of people thought that was cheating, but now that's that's built into the iPhone now, HDR capture. So my point being is these are just all tools. And I don't think they're cheating, because I think it's just a tool. As long as you keep a human side to what you're doing and you're authentic to your art and your creations. Anyway, it's a whole other tangent that I didn't mean to get on. Oh, Penny's down here, by the way. What's going on? I didn't leave her much room on this desk to wander around. You might see her later. I have a separate cam set up, the Penny cam. Mike, focus. Let me read my notes here. Stand by. Yeah. I don't know where I am here. I'm really lost. Anyway, essentially, think I blocked her ability to get up to. You okay? Let me show you Penny for a second. Let's just take a breather. Come here. This is Penny, my cat. She's a tortoiseshell cat. And we have a project. When I say we, me and my ex-wife, who is the one that's responsible for me having this cat. She found her. Look at her. She found her under a dumpster, if you can believe that. And she was like 5 weeks old, I think. And we took her in to make sure that she wasn't chipped. We put up flyers, make sure that she wasn't somebody's pet. And we took her in to get her checked out, make sure she had, get her tested for feline leukemia and all that stuff, get her the shots. And I essentially adopted her, took her off the streets. And there's another project that we're trying to put together, which again is a whole other video topic that I'll get into. Anyway, that's Penny, and she makes an appearance here on these videos. So where was I at? I was talking about AI. So what Claude spit back to me was, I was a little surprised, actually. It brought out a bunch of things that I would have probably blown by. It laid out a structure for me. I highlighted some of the voiceover notes, suggestions, broke it down into 4 different acts. And the one thing that surprised me the most, and I didn't realize I talked about this, by the way, let me go to the next slide here. It shows you, this is how a timeline starts, and through my editing, this is eventually what happens. Something similar to this. Anyway, we'll come back full screen. Can you get up there? I built a recording booth in this corner, and she loves to crawl to the very top because I have like a top made of packing blankets that I could do a whole episode on just what I did for this cat here. You got room. Go ahead. I have a big 4x4 silk over here that is hopefully not on the frame. It's kind of diffusing the sunlight coming in, and it looks like she wants to climb on top of the edge of that. Let me turn the camera around to her. This is a train wreck in progress, by the way. So, the microphone is on the action cam right now. So that is a floor to ceiling climbing post that I put in. Although, from the window hammock, she can actually get up onto the top of this thing. It's the cat channel. All right. Work. Where are we at here? Okay, so getting back in focus. I think it was cat hair. This is called Distracted by the Cat. Are you still here? I can't believe it if you are. So, oh my gosh, this is absolutely a train wreck. I made notes thinking this was going to be easy, and I keep looking at the notes and I'm getting, I'm not really good on camera. Yeah. Let me break out of, not character, but let me break out of flow here. I'm going to go totally off topic again. And she's on the top of the booth, by the way. She loves it up there. So I'm going to try something starting today, actually, when I'm done with this. I'm going to start recording once a day, a really quick video journal or video diary. And it's not going to go on the internet. It's not going to go on YouTube. It's just going to get stored here. And it's going to be, and instead of me journaling every day into a journal, It's just going to be a video journal. And I'm going to talk about what I'm doing, what I plan, just different things. Under 10 minutes, which I'm at the 10-minute mark on this one already. Um, and I got a recommendation or a video that popped up from a channel. It's not going to be my channel of the week. What was the channel here? I'll share it below. Alexander the Great, I think is his channel's name. Um, he's a really good presenter to camera, and I want to get better. I want to get smoother at doing this and being able to talk to camera, not rely on the edit, and just get to the point. And I think that might help me, maybe. We'll see. So, what Claude did is it spit back to me. There was something that really struck me. Again, it was a surprise, and I didn't realize this was a way to craft the story. And that is one of the caveats or one of the things that I referred to at the beginning of this video when I started 50 at 60 is I needed to be in each state for a minimum of 36 hours, which is easy if you're staying there for 2 nights. But sometimes I was going to go off and hit 2 states and stay 3 nights, and it's a little tight on um, how you visit those states. And again, the idea of 36 hours, because I had to give myself a metric. I didn't want to be like, well, I had dinner in Iowa, or I drove through Nebraska. That's good enough. No, I needed to give myself a metric, and that metric or ways to measure was 36 hours. And it came from, and this could be a thumbnail, right? Maybe. Don't cover the wordage. How's that look? We good with the angle? Okay, Mike, let's go. This is these 2 books. 36 hours. That's where I got the idea from. So beyond that was actually being there for the 36 hours. And this was one of those times that I was out. I was heading to, or I was going to visit on this particular outing, Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. And my flight was like 10 hours delayed. So this was a trip that I had planned for like the month before or a couple weeks before. And it really threw a monkey wrench into my plans. I was going to be almost down to the hour where I was straddling Kentucky and Ohio. And the only way to do that really, efficiently was to stay in Covington on my final night, which was on the border overlooking Cincinnati, Ohio, where I could go back and forth over the bridge to dinner or into the art gallery that I went to and back and really watch the clock and make sure that I literally put 36 hours into each state. And you might think that's ridiculous, but if you can't be true to yourself, then who can you be true to? And I didn't want to get through this last or this whole year with the rules that I set up for myself and not achieve that and lie and say, oh, yeah, I was there for 36 hours. And because I would have known. So that was kind of the whole, I don't know, it was what happened at the end of the video. And it suggested pulling out, and starting the video with that piece or maybe some footage from Cincinnati, doing a voiceover, talking about just that whole thing. So we're going to see how it turns out. I mean, the first paragraph of voiceover is, that's Cincinnati, and let me practice it here with you. That's Cincinnati, and right across the water, Covington, Kentucky. Tonight I'm going to park myself on the border between them and do something that sounds a little ridiculous. Sit and watch a clock. And that's, again, extracted from some footage or some rambling that I was um, giving the dash cam when I was driving earlier in the episode. So, point being, Claude went in there and extracted all of that, and I thought it was pretty amazing. Now, I still have to execute it. I didn't hand the reins over to Claude and say, "Here, edit this video for me," but it's up to me now to make this thing, as I like to refer to, as watchable. And my buddy Frank will remember me saying that several times with the documentary that we did, and also the behind the scenes clips that I did, or pieces of us working on a documentary. I just wanted something that was watchable, unlike today's episode. All right. So that's supposed to now, according to my notes, um, leapfrog us into this next part, which is really kind of the meat of this episode, or what I like to do every week here in these little Studio 2 camera, unedited chats to camera. I want to talk about a channel that has inspired me for one or more of a bunch of possible reasons. And that channel is Three Quarter Town. Move this window over here. So, it says here, what does it say here? It's in really small print, so bear with me. Story, it's a really, the subtitle, Stories Told in Three-Quarter Time. Is that what it says? Something like that. They really are stories. And you can read the about. I'll do a description, or do a link to their channel below. Where am I at over here? There we go. We'll scroll through here. So here's the reason I like it. Number one, they really are stories. They're told with dialogue set to music. They kind of tune into the theme of, well, they're bittersweet moments of, either losing a pet or living life with a pet, a significant other, getting older. They're really resonating on a level that I've never seen AI created stories. They're connecting with people on a level I've never seen. And all you have to do is click on any of these here and read the comments, especially, and you can see most of these ones with red are the ones that I've actually watched. I'm trying to find one. I don't want to play it because their music is on a Spotify channel, actually. And although I think it's all created with AI, or like Suno or one of those apps, um, I believe somehow they've copyrighted these songs. So I don't want to have that pop up on my channel. But I do want you to go watch the channel, specifically if I ever find it here. It was in the middle. There it is. This video right here, I'm going to link to this specific one. I'll also link to the channel. It's called The Cat Who Grew Old With Me. And I showed that to my ex-wife, and although she didn't shed a tear, I did, because it's basically a guy getting old with a cat that came to his door. Um, it's like my story, with Penny. And the guy apparently passes away at the very end, and it's um it's a touching moment where you see the expression on the cat's face, like he realized that he was there by himself now. And again, they're cartoons. They're claymation, stop motion style, whatever they are, but the characters, I mean, look at their eyes. Look at the two videos to the left and right of the one I'm talking about. Um, there's something about these videos, and there's a couple of other channels that are kind of using the same technique. I don't know where these guys are based out of. I don't know too much about them other than I really admire their work. And that being said, I was looking at this as an opportunity to dive into something new. Take on a whole, basically a new project. And I still may sometime, but I know myself, and this is a huge mountain of a project to dive into. And I already have one coming up. These 63 national parks and chasing light and story. Maybe my way of, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to be sharing some channels like this. That's part of the story. I'm not really sure. I do like creating stuff, and I have a whole idea with it. It has to do with cats and cat cafes, and there's a story arc that I can take my roaming cats brand into using a style like this, but it's a totally different story arc. Um, that I may actually dive into, but again, it's a huge project and I know that, so I don't want to start something because when I start something, I basically go all in, and I don't have that much time to create something of this level because if I'm gonna do this, I want it to be at this level, which means giving up a few things, closing other doors, and I don't want to do that. So, but for now, um, go watch Three Quarter Town, and let me know what you think. Again, I'll link to a couple of videos. I'll link to their channel, and that's all I got for now. I'll be in here next Wednesday, hopefully making these a little bit shorter. And yeah, that's all I got for now. See you next week. Keep chasing the light. By the way, I think it's going to be my outro. Do you like that? And keep chasing the light. What do you think, Penny? She doesn't like it. All right, I'll see you next week.